You want to grow with high pressure aeroponics because you know that it uses space and energy more efficiently? 10x that by going vertically. There's a right way and then there's the wrong way to grow vertically. Be sure you avoid these mistakes. Vertical gardening with high pressure aeroponics system is the best way for you to increase productivity for the same amount of space. However, how do you design a vertical high pressure aeroponics system that will function and operate properly? Well, if you read other people's experiences using high pressure aeroponics for vertical gardening, most of them fail to operate according to their plans. Why is that? Well, I have read multiple comments and people asking me, well, why doesn't my vertical system function correctly? Two main things occur because of inappropriate design of their high pressure aeroponics vertical system. One is that they suffer frequent clogged nozzles. Two is that they notice that the performance of their misting nozzles are not all the same on the system. They notice that some miss and some don't miss. Some, if they do miss, the miss is not as abundant as some of the other nozzles. So it's like a hit and miss with each spray interval. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design your delivery system for a vertical high pressure aeroponics unit. Let's talk about the various types of vertical gardening when it comes to aeroponics. Well, one common one is the tower garden, even though it is a hydroponic system that is often confused as being aeroponic. This system is very popular, and you would notice that even some commercial growers use tower gardens. Another form of vertical gardening is the wall garden. And the wall gardens are just what it is. So basically they're using a vertical plane. Normally it's a vertical plane, probably close to 8 feet tall, and where the wall has pockets, and they have plants inserted into those pockets. And that's another form. Another form of a vertical garden is which is like a cross between a tower garden and a true high pressure aeroponic system, is where they use a 50-gallon drum with pockets around it to hold the plants. So that's another form of a vertical garden. Another one is known to be a zip form of a garden, which is not aeroponics whatsoever. If you have heard of aero farms, they also employ a vertical gardening using true high pressure aeroponics. Let's talk about the various differences between these vertical gardens. You have one garden which is basically in a vertical nature, whether it be a wall garden or a tower form in a tubular shape. And then you have another form of gardening which uses horizontal planes, or another word it's called is stack. Okay, is a stack system. Now, which one do many go to and which one do I prefer? Well, for one thing, a true vertical garden, when it comes to the wall format or the tower format, these forms are very difficult to maintain, to keep them clean. It's not very easy to do that. Also too, in both of the wall form and the tower form, the roots that are developed never are completely exposed to the nutrient mist. One side of the roots are always leaning up against the wall of the structure. Well, these roots either intermittently or never receive the mist. Therefore, what you might experience is root rot along the walls of the structure, which is not what we want. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages of the two systems, meaning the horizontal stacking system and the vertical systems, which are like the tower garden, the wall garden, and so forth. One thing of the vertical garden is that it makes it easier for harvesting and accessing your plants because it's at a vertical plane. Now, when it comes to a horizontal stacking system, it makes it a little bit more difficult because you have to reach inside to get access to your plants. Now, if your plants are 5 feet, the stacks are 5 feet or lower, then it's not a problem. As you get above 5 feet, 8 feet, you would need to use some type of mechanism, either a ladder or a scissor lift, which means that it can be drove around a platform that can be raised and lowered based upon which elevation you're trying to get access to. So that's some of the disadvantages between the vertical and the horizontal systems. Another drawback when it comes to the vertical system compared to the horizontal system is that almost all vertical systems are more difficult to clean. They are difficult to light because you have a vertical instead of a horizontal surface to light. And also too, they're very difficult if you want to transport the system. Vertical systems tend to be quite bulky in height and in length. So it's not something that you can just put in the back of your car and drive off. Another problem with vertical systems compared to the stacking system is that vertical systems is very difficult to maintain the root environment or to make sure that all the roots are getting the proper mist that you want, is because that the surface area is so wide. And so it's difficult for you to get complete misting of your roots in a vertical wall or chamber or tower when it comes to a tube. As I mentioned before, in a vertical plane, your roots that are against the structure tend to not to get a complete mist, or the roots are not exposed to all the mist. So you can suffer partial starvation on some of the roots. It will lead to dead matter, then to clogged nozzles. Now, when it comes to vertical gardening, which one do I prefer? Well, I prefer the horizontal stacking system. One is that they're easier to clean, they're easier to maintain, and also too, they're easier to transport. There's one thing to me that sets them apart, which is more critical, and that is how much interaction do I need to have with the system when it comes to hand-to-hand contact basis. Well, with a stack system, you can almost plant your seeds, let it grow, and then you harvest. So you basically, you set it and you forget it, if you know what I mean. Well, in a stack system, basically what you do is that you plant your seeds into the system, let it grow, and then you harvest it. So basically, there's 2 times where you're in contact with the system. One is when you plant the seed, and second, and when you harvest. So that's basically 2 steps of interaction with a human. Now, how does that compare to a vertical system like a tower garden or more of a wall garden? Okay, so in a wall garden as well as in a tower garden, the first step is that you need to plant the seed in rock wool or some type of medium so that you can create a seedling. So the second step is that after you place the seed in the rock wool, you need to transplant that into a germination system. The germination system might have some type of temperature control, but its main purpose is to bring the seed to a seedling, which is like a small little plant with a little bit of root mass development. After that is done, then the seedling can be transplanted into the unit itself, whether it be a tower garden or some type of wall garden structure. And then it's allowed to complete its growth in the tower or in a wall unit. After that, then the plant can be harvested. So this is the problem when it comes to the tower garden and the wall garden. There are 4 steps. 1, you got to plant the seed in the rock wool. 2, you need to move that into a germination unit so that it can grow into a seedling. 3, you now move the seedling into the unit, whether it be a tower garden or some type of wall garden. And then 4, then you're able to harvest after the plant has reached the maturity that you want. So that's 4 steps compared to the stacking system. It's only 2 steps. You plant it you set the seed, you let it grow, and you harvest. So it's only 2 times when you have interaction with the unit compared to the other form of vertical garden by using a tower garden or by using a wall garden where there's 4 times of interaction. So to me, time is money. So that means that I prefer to set it and forget it. And once I plant the seed, the system is automated to the point that it will take control of everything else. When it comes to nutrient, when it comes to lighting, when it comes to temperature control, it's all done automatic. So that's why I prefer to do a stack system, and that's what we will develop more in this video, and how to do it the right way so that your delivery system to your vertical garden will not fail but operate faithfully for you. In part 2 of this video, we will actually get into the designing of our high pressure aeroponic vertical system, which we will learn what to do and what not to do. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you until next time.